call me a racist?
Oh my God! It is episode 100 and
That's not me.
no,
140.
145. 140. I looked at it earlier.
You did? Yeah, I think it's 145.
145 of the Keep On Trucking podcast. Yeah. No. Oh, you did that part?
I try to do my best, Luke. Because Luke does it, so I'm like,
yeah.
I feel like if it's you and Luke, and then the third person can just be like, well, this is retarded.
Yeah.
Because it's just you and Luke.
The third person's just like looking at us.
Yeah, just like, I'm kind of uncomfortable. But because it's me, I got to be like, I got to do the Luke.
Hey, it started raining.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let me close this. My Bill Clinton book is going to get...
Perfect to walk home in. What? Close it? Why close it?
Because there's books right there.
It's not going to rain right through the window.
No?
Keep it open a little bit.
All right, I'll keep it open.
Just a little bit.
All right, everybody.
Right
that is, all right, I'll just keep it like that.
Yeah.
That's the voice of, if you're listening, that's the voice of a co-host this week, Joshua Creighton.
Whoa, when's the last time you done that?
Dude, a long while ago.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
Because you're not doing the vlogs as much. And I'm not featured.
I do. Look, see, the books are getting wet. Yeah, see, this Adam's Gay Guy book.
Well, just don't close it all the way. Yeah. Just the noise of the rain is just so
Look,
nice.
it's a Gay Guy book. A Little Life by...
Yeah, he'd want to get a little wet too. That's fine.
All right. Dude, I sort of... If my Bill Clinton book gets wet...
If you're going to stress out about it, you can just close it.
No, it's all right.
I think it's nice. The sound of the rain. I mean, they're probably not even experiencing the sound of the rain, but...
Dude, when we did it in the van, there was like... You could really hear the sound of the rain.
Yeah.
And if... It sounded like a meditation, bro.
Yeah, it kind of did. Like an audio...
Yeah,
you put on to chill yourself out.
Yeah, because me and Luke were just talking about just getting bullied and we're just being mean to each other.
Started comedy in North Carolina.
It's just the worst meditation of all time.
Everyone's mean to you. Nice little rain in the background.
Dude, Luke's he went back. So I went back home for a week, and
you were only there for a week.
I felt like forever.
It felt like way more than a week.
I think a week and a half tops.
Must have been a week and a half.
Because I left the 6th and I got back. Oh my God, I got back last night. So this is what I wanted to tell you.
Like a week and a half, yeah.
I took maybe the worst flights of all time. I didn't know Frontier was a bad airline.
What? What did you, if you didn't think Frontier was a bad airline, what did you think was a bad airline?
Spirit.
Just Spirit?
Yeah, Spirit.
Dude. No, I frankly, I would take Spirit over Frontier.
Really?
Yes, because Spirit is like, we suck, we know that, we're bad. Frontier is like, we're a real airline. And it's like, no, Frontier blows.
Yes,
dude.
that was the attitude.
Spirit has like a self-awareness to it that's funny. Like almost all the pilots that I've been with on Spirit make a joke like, hey, you're all poor, we're poor. Whatever.
They say that?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, hey, we're all on this boat together.
Oh my God,
we suck.
And Frontier, they were like, we knew money. And I was like, no, we're not.
We're on a plane. We're flying.
Dude,
suck.
And people Frontier, like, they can't even believe that they like let them fly the thing.
Dude, Frontier's terrible. I try never to fly Frontier.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah. I've done it a few times.
Oh, and how was it?
Terrible. It was so bad. The seats are bad. The experience is bad. You're paying a ton for just bags and stuff.
Oh, okay. So I don't have carry-ons or anything. So my first mistake besides before booking Frontier. So I get to California and all the tickets are expensive, and I'd almost like sometimes they're like a little cheaper if you wait, and I'm like, all right.
That could be true. Yeah.
It's like a gamble.
Huge gamble.
So we waited a couple, and then like it's like 5 days before I fly out. I still haven't bought anything, my return ticket. And I told work, I'm like, yo, I'll be back on the 18th. And they were, sorry, the 16th, and give me 1 day and I'll work on the 18th. And they were like, all right, sounds good. But I haven't bought anything yet. Yeah. So I'm like, I gotta buy something. Everything's like $300, like one way. Like 300, 250. There was one for 175, and it was Frontier. And I was like,
is that from LA or from
That's
San
from
Diego?
San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And I saw Frontier, and I was like, oh, cool. I'll get a little Frontier one, bro. It was 175. And I was like,
here's the thing, man. At that point, you gotta do that.
Dude.
You gotta do that.
Oh my, but I wish I would have done the other things. The other one. So I buy it, and I call it up. I'm like, hey, I got my ticket. And she goes, oh, like what airline? I was like, Frontier. And she knew. She was in on the secret.
Dude, the secret. Dude, here's the thing. To be fair, you just stopped living in a van. So I don't expect you to know what flying is like. That's a whole different thing that you got to figure out now.
Dude.
On your own, you got to realize what's good and what's bad.
I was wondering what those things were up there.
Frontier is living in the bus of flying. That's what that is.
That's the second person to tell me that.
Really?
Yeah, I called someone.
I'm so hacked.
No, bro. Everybody just hates them now. Everybody knew. Nobody warned me. I guess
It's bad, dude. If you had called me and been like, I'm going to go Frontier, I'd be like, I'll send you money. I'll wire you something. You can't be doing this.
Well, I should have called you.
Yeah, dude. I would have sent you $50 to get you out of Frontier.
Dude, that would have helped. I would have blew it all in blackjack. But
thanks so much. Black.
hit me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was thinking roulette. Yeah, exactly. Hit me.
Go to blackjack table. Black.
Black. You say Jack. I was like, what are you? No.
They're like, you won.
No, exactly. Oh, wow.
What's the password?
Yeah.
So I call it. I'm like, yeah, it's for she goes, you suck.
Yeah, I'm divorcing you.
I'm divorcing you.
So
like,
stupid.
She sent me the ring back through the mail. I was like, I never want to look at you again. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, she was like, I can't believe I married an idiot. And I was like, no, I'm smart.
I bought it all by myself.
I didn't feel that way because she normally books everything for me. So the one time I booked my own flight, I book an Airbus.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's so bad. You book a Greyhound of the skies. Yeah, dude. Yeah, they have a standing section in the back.
Oh, bro. So I have so much shit to do. I mean, to tell you about this flight. So I buy it. She's mad at me. I get divorced. She like, the day comes and I go to San Diego. And so it's a flight from San Diego, layover at Denver, 1 hour layover.
Okay.
At Denver, which is kind of close. 1 hour layover at Denver. And then from Denver to JFK. And I'm supposed to get to JFK, which JFK is perfect because I just take the train straight here.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to get here the 16th at 10 p.m.
Okay.
So I get to the airport and immediately 1 hour delay. So there goes the layover.
In San Diego?
Yeah.
So it's not even giving you a chance. They're just like, you're missing that flight. You're not, no shot. Are you making that flight?
Well, dude, so they let me know it's a 1 hour layover there. I checked my phone later. They let me know at 9 in.morning that there was gonna be a delay. My email that I never checked, it said you're gonna miss your layover flight. Like before the 2 hour check-in zone.
What? How did they know that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, were there a lot of other delayed flights, or was it just your
flight? No, it was
flight?
just that one.
Dude, Frontier sucks.
They just sent me a message. Like they sent me an email like, "Hey, you're gonna miss your layover," and I should have emailed like, "How do you guys know that?" Like we just assume.
Yeah. Just everyone misses their layover. I don't know. I don't know if they ever make it.
You're actually the only guy who got a connecting flight.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy. You're kind of stupid for that.
Yeah. So your girlfriend called her. She said. So it was. So immediately like. It's a 1 hour delay, and I'm like, wow, bro. But I have hope, which it's bad to have hope. Hope is bad.
Hope can definitely be bad, for sure. Because
I'm like, okay, dude, there's still hope. Like, chances I get there, the gate is right next to it. It's the same airline. It's a big airport, actually. Denver's a huge airport.
Yeah, Denver's
probably the
really
biggest.
Big.
So
really big.
So I'm thinking, like, all right, I just get there. I just run to my gate, and then I make it, like, less. I'm like, they're going to call, right? Like, they're going to tell me we're running late. So I get on the plane. Immediately, bro, the seats don't go back on Frontier.
No, yeah.
They're lawn chairs.
Yeah, dude.
They're, bro, the little plate thing that you bring down, it's
like it's a Post-it note.
Dude, it's 4 inches big.
Yeah.
So I bring it down. It's like tiny. I'm like, well, wow. Oh, so the one good thing I had an aisle seat. So that was great.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So that was good. Okay. So I stretched my leg and I touched the guy in the window of the other side.
Yeah.
Dude, so I'm sitting there. I got the IOC. I'm like, I'm fucking around with the little plate, and I'm like, well, this sucks, bro. And then we sit on the tarmac for another hour.
No,
bro.
Do they have air jets? Do they have like any AC?
The air jets were. I'm gonna talk so much shit on them. The air jets were good.
Okay,
they were cold.
All right. Hey, he's a man of principle. He's not lying.
I'm not.
Right?
Yeah.
Air jets are good. They're good.
Yeah, bro. I'm a man of honesty. Everything about this flight sucked. The air jets were the only good thing.
All right, cool. All they could do is push air. That's you know what this plane's good at is air conditioning.
It's
getting off the ground, not too hot. Getting places on time, not too good.
No, everything is bad.
Do they give you snacks or anything? Or I'll let you keep going.
Oh, dude, I'm getting to that. Yeah. So we sat on the tarmac for an hour. They don't tell us anything. They don't say there's traffic. They don't say they're checking on something.
Yeah.
We're just sitting there. And I'm like, wow. Oh, okay. Let me take a nap. I take a nap, wake up, we're still there.
That sucks.
Bro, I mean, this is horrible.
You wasted your nap. You had a nap, and you played the nap strategically.
Yes.
When do I put this in the flight? And you're using it on the tarmac. That's because you probably think you're going to get interrupted, and you won't go full nap. Right? Maybe you'll do 10, 15 minutes of nap, and then you get woken up by then you wait another 30 to 40 minutes, and you jump back into the nap.
Exactly.
You used all of it.
I used it, bro.
That sucks.
So taking a nap on the tarmac and then waking up to being in the air is the equivalent of in a restaurant, going to the bathroom, coming back, and your food's there.
That's perfect equivalency.
So I take a nap, I wake up, food's not there, and I'm like, wow, dude.
What? Who is in this kitchen? It's not Mexicans, I'll tell you that much.
Bunch of Puerto Ricans. And Puerto Ricans that pose as Mexicans in here.
Puerto Ricans of the sky. That's what they call.
Yeah, that's Frontier. Puerto Ricans of the sky.
It's the pigeon of planes.
It's the chicken of planes.
Chicken of penguin of planes.
Penguin of planes. So I'm sitting there, we wake up, and then 30 minutes go past, 30 minutes pass by, and then we're in the air. And I'm like, all right, finally, bro. So now hope is gone. I lost hope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe they got good snacks. They go in the thing. They go, hey, everyone, we're going to be selling snacks. I'm like, what is this, high school?
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. $1.50. Do you have quarters?
Yeah. We're going to be selling snacks. And I'm like, oh, great, dude. So they come by. The guy next to me is like dead asleep. And then they ask the other guys. The other guy's like a veteran. He knows. He has his card out. He goes, do you want anything? The guy goes, water. Hands him the card.
You have to pay for water?
Yes, bro.
What? That is crazy.
It's a Chinese guy next to me. They ask him. They go, "You want anything?" He goes, "Water." And the lady brings out the thing. She goes, "Oh, that'll be." And then I didn't hear. And the guy goes, "Oh no, never mind. I don't want any water. I'd die."
Yeah, I'd rather be thirsty and die.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Pay for water.
I'll die on a Frontier flight.
That's crazy. Is it bottled water or is it cup of water?
Bottled water.
Could you ask for a cup of water?
I think you can. I mean, because it's illegal to not give somebody a cup of water.
That's what I was saying. Only place that it's legal, from what I understand, is Las Vegas. They don't have to give you water in Vegas.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, the hottest place on earth.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy. That's why bottled water over there is like so expensive.
Oh my god, bro.
That could totally be wrong, but I think that's true.
Holy shit, you're yeah, dude. Like you could totally be right.
I could also be right.
Don't even fact. Just tell your friends about this fun fact.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can't give away free water in Vegas.
Yep.
No, they don't have to do it.
I'm gonna start spreading that around.
Yeah, that's a nice rumor that no one's really gonna check you on too hard.
Yeah,
no one's gonna be like, hold on, I don't think that. And if they do, that's the least favorite person you're around.
Exactly, and that's why it's like a fun thing to say in conversation.
Yeah,
conversation's running low.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, you know, like say that at a baby's funeral. I'm like, I'm sorry for your loss. Did you know?
Here, to distract you from this tragedy, here's another tragedy.
In Las Vegas,
they don't give away free water.
Sorry, can you leave?
Jeez.
Where am I? Just wearing a yellow shirt out of here.
Huh, interesting. Okay. Sorry.
So they charge for water, and I miraculously fall asleep again. I'm a very good napper.
Oh, awesome.
So I close my eyes, shut my eyes, I squeeze really hard, and I wake up, and we're in Denver, and we're supposed to get in Denver at 11 a.m. We get there at 1 p.m. And I'm like, well, that's fine.
Was there a delay in the other flight? Because that's the other thing you can hope for. Right. Your connecting flight's delayed, and then
So a spark of hope came back upon me because I saw the gates next to us were all Frontier. There were a bunch of other planes. And I was like, hope. Very dangerous thing. Very to have hope. I get out there was a girl sitting on the aisle seat next to me.
Okay.
And I think she was in the same situation that I was because we land. She gets up and runs, bro. She runs. And I'm like, maybe I should have done that. She immediately gets stopped by like halfway because everybody else gets up. And I'm like,
of course.
And then so now she's there without us.
Yeah, how deep in the plane are you?
30A.
30A?
Yeah, which is...
Jeez, that's no good. That's no good.
Bro, every seat I ever booked is like past 26.
Oh my gosh, that's nuts.
What, you get below 26?
Yeah.
What do you get?
Well, I fly Delta, and I fly, and I have Sky Miles, and I have the lowest level of status you can get, which is Silver Medallion. Wow. It's the lowest level of status. But I do mostly get upgraded to Delta
Comfort
Plus.
Comfort.
Yeah, Comfort Plus.
Oh man.
So it's not first class, but it's one down from first class.
Wow.
And so I get bumped to that most of the time. So I'm in like 9 through 14 generally.
What?
And in like kind of slightly wider seats.
Do they give you a pillow?
No pillow. One time I did book I had a red eye and I paid for the upgrade to go to first class.
What?
And that was like, and just because it was a red eye, that was pretty nice.
Wow. What happens in first class?
Pretty nice. You kind of feel like a fraud for being there because you think everyone else is acting so chill. You're like, oh, you're there all the time.
Oh, man.
And then you're sitting in like a different, like sort of cocoon. It wasn't like a super fancy international first class flight.
Okay.
But you get to lay back. It wasn't a lie flat, which is a bit of a bummer. But it is nice. And you get a meal. But it's weird because it's like 2 a.m. It's a red eye. But they still give you the meal. And because I never do first class,
you ate it.
I want the meal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll take the meal.
You're a picky eater. Well, what's the meal?
Meat. Some sort of meat. So it was like
some sort of meat.
Yeah, it was chicken fish. It was like chicken fish or roast beef or something that you could get.
What's the side?
Mashed potatoes, green beans, something like that.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's nice.
Meanwhile, everybody in the Mega's getting crackers.
Yeah, crackers. If that, dude, Frontier, they look like the sort of like you say, hey, can I have some pretzels? And they're like, absolutely. And then they just before they hand it to you, they just punch the bag, just make it dust. Oh yeah, one second. And you just chuck it in your face. Ow!
They open it. They fucking dump it on your head.
Yeah, dump it in your hair. That's why he shaved his head. He had pretzel dust in his hair. He had to get ready because it looked like lice. I was like, you have to shave your head.
And they go, that'll be $5. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's why you got a bunch of kink people in there. They're like, dump the pretzels on my head.
Yes. I was like Gimp in there with the fucking leather mask.
Yeah.
Close it without it. And you can't get any water because it costs money.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just choking on the pretzels. Wow. All right, so
crazy.
I am in Denver, and it clears out. I run. I'm like, fuck it. It's Frontier. No one's going to judge me, bro.
No, dude.
People are wearing sandals. Yeah. I'm like, I'm running and stepping on them.
Sure.
So I'm running. I push an old lady in a wheelchair off, and I run. I run to the gate where I was going to be at.
Uh-huh.
And bad sign, bro. It says Des Moines.
No, you're not trying to go to Des Moines.
No, bro. It's supposed to say
go to New York.
It's supposed to say New York.
Oh.
I go to the lady. I go, hey, so my last hope is I'm like, maybe they moved gates and I can still make it. And I'm like, and I was like, hey,
delusional at this point.
I know,
it's not even hope. It is delusion,
dude. So I'm like, hey, a flight to LaGuardia or to New York was supposed to fly out of here. Did they change the gate? And she went, that flight left a while ago.
You're asking like it's a lost dog. You're like, hey, do you guys ever see a flight to JFK?
Bro, so I'm trying to be like,
it's an airport.
Trying to be super nice. When I'm in a bad position, I'm trying to be extra nice to customer service. Because
yes, I think that's totally fair.
Because they're used to people being dicks to them for no reason. Because it's not her fault that fucking my flight got delayed.
Yeah, and of course not.
Unless she just got demoted from the air control, which is possible because it's Frontier.
Totally.
So I'm like, she goes, oh, that flight left a while ago, like that. And I was like, all right. And I go, well, where do I go? And then she goes, there's a help kiosk or customer service kiosk there. I walked back, bro. I ran past this kiosk to get to be delusional. Now, when I ran past it, it was empty. I'm walking back. There's just the longest line of my life.
Dude, yeah. You got to go get help before you realize you need it.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Because then everyone's going to come back and then the line is terrible.
Yeah, but Mo, my fear was I got on the customer service and I was like, I missed my flight. Like, no, you didn't. It's just, it left. Oh. It was my biggest fear. So now, like, she missed it. I walked back. I'm waiting in line. I made friends with this guy. He tells me about documentaries that he's watching.
Oh,
and then,
cool.
So then I downloaded some of them for my next flight. I get to the lady, bro. I'm like, all right, have like, just be super nice, whatever. The lady, she's maybe like 104 years old. She has like big Gladys glasses.
Sure.
Her hair is like a beehive.
Yeah.
And she's drinking like a Starbucks and has like some tea. And I'm like, that's a bad combo.
That's weird.
Yeah. And before that, I overhear people were flying to Minneapolis, delayed the next flight out 4 days.
What? 4 days?
Yeah, bro.
Why?
I don't. It's Frontier.
It's not your flight. Yeah, you don't care. Yeah, dude. At that point, I'm looking at other airlines. I'm like, hey, listen, I'll drop the extra 200, 300 I need because this is insane. That is so crazy.
Nuts, bro. So while I'm in line, I look up the next flight to New York. There's one at 10 p.m. And I'm like, great, they'll get me on this one. I get to the lady. She's like out of the 80s, bro. And I'm trying to think like, can I say something nice about her? Maybe she could like.
I like your beehive hair.
Yeah. Hey, I like your I couldn't think of anything.
Just a repeat of what happened in real life.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And so I tell her what happened. She goes, she's super chill, super nice.
Yeah, she's 104. She's not rushing for anything anymore.
Nothing, bro.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay, well, we got one to Dallas and then to New York. And the one to Dallas leaves at 6 a.m. that night. It's 1 p.m., bro. So
wait, 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.?
6 a.m. the next day. I'm supposed to be in New York at 10 p.m. that day.
Night.
Yeah. She goes 6 a.m. And then I'm like, well, what about to LaGuardia? And she goes, And I go, what about to Newark? And she goes, And she goes, we got one. And then her friend goes, we got one to Islip, which is in Long Island. And I'm like, great, book that one. I mean, there's the Long Island Railroad to take me right back home.
Wow, okay.
And then she goes, and she looks at her and she goes, no, we don't. And I'm like, check. What do you mean, no, we don't?
That's so funny. But hey, we have the. Are you guys using computers, or is it just all in your brain? Do we have one of those? I don't think so.
Is what are you, the guy in the corner?
Could you look it up? What are you, one of those like talented waiters that just takes your order without writing anything down? What are you looking for? Flight? We don't have that. No, we don't have that. Like, what is going on? Write it down, stupid.
She just knows.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, well, fucking anything. And so I overheard that there was like flights like that same day, they're like $500. I'm like, that's out of the question, bro. I'm not paying $500.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck it, dude. Just book me to Dallas. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I told her that, and she was all right here, and she gives me my thing, and then she says, "See you later, Jack," because she's from fucking the 80s.
See you later, Jack.
And now I got my flight to Dallas and then to New York. So I think I'm getting to New York at 4 p.m. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'm like walking. I'm looking at my tickets, bro. I'm getting to New York. The flight leaves from Dallas at 4 p.m. I'm getting here at 8 p.m.
So you go from 6 a.m. to Dallas, which is what, like a 2-hour flight?
Yeah.
And it's a 2-hour flight, so then and it's a 1 hour change difference. So you're getting there at 9 a.m. So again, you have like an 8-hour layover.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So I look at the email, and they sent me the email for confirmation. It says in red, by the way, 25-hour layover. So I'm like, why?
Wait a second, 25-hour. Oh, in Denver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So or no, the whole. Oh yeah, bro. Because I'm there at 1 p.m. and then I'm flying out at 6 a.m. That's not 25 hours.
Well, that's not 25 hours.
No, I guess I don't know why it said that, but I got the email and it just made me angry. I'm like, I don't know why it's even said that.
Just in addition to everything else, they just add bad information in red just to scare you. Just added 185 hours. You're like, what is this for?
This is why they're delayed. They're just throwing numbers out like that.
Exactly. They're just doing it all in their heads, man. Frontier needs computers.
They don't got computers yet, bro. They haven't heard of IBM. they got IBS, bro. All these flights that they're shedding out.
Yeah, terrible.
So now I'm like whatever. I'm like, not the worst airport to be stuck at, the Denver airport.
No, Denver's cool.
Yeah. So I know. So the lady goes, if you get bored, I'm like,
if you get bored, excuse me, I'll be just fine.
Yeah.
It's only 17 hours that I have to be here,
dude. So she goes, you could take the light line. What's
light
it called?
rail.
You could take the light rail to Denver and whatever. And I'm like, all right. I think about it. And I'm like, I don't know. I sit down, and I'm like, what am I doing, bro? Let me go to a buffet. I'm a big buffet guy. I know I look classy on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, I'm just shocked. That's so out of left field for you to be into buffets, but your head's shaven and you have a beard. What do you mean?
On the inside, I just like to feel like shit, bro. I'm like, let me go to a buffet. I look. I don't see any. So I message you if there's any like comedy shows or any mics around. Yeah. And you gave me the name of one, but that's before I got hungry.
Yeah, so, Irish Rover, which by the way is next to one of my favorite pizza places. It's got 2 pizza places right there. They're really good.
Wow.
Fat Sal's and Pie Hole. Pie Hole used to have the best cookies in Denver.
Oh my god.
And then they changed something about it and they're too crunchy. But anyways, yeah, dude, they great, good mic, great food around that area too. South Broadway.
Yeah, I mean, it's Denver. You know, it is a city. So
yeah, I mean, to be fair, Denver's not known for its food, but
right.
You know.
So all I had to do was take the A light rail all the way into Denver. But I thought, like, let me mix it up a bit. Let me fucking go into Aurora, which
Such a huge mistake.
Bro,
that's crazy.
So I've been to Denver before, and I was there.
Yeah, that's where we met.
I was there like, when did we meet? Was it a Thursday?
No, it was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday.
Because we did Scruffy Murphy's.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've been here on this day. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been here before to Denver, and it wasn't popping. It was Monday night when this happened. And I was like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to walk around the city. There's already a bunch of like crazy people. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be sitting there. Let me just explore Colorado. So I take the A into Aurora. Pelori is the name of the stop I got off at.
Okay.
And I take the R to the buffet I'm going to. By the way, not and I didn't have good reviews, and I'm still going.
In Aurora?
the buffet.
Yeah, shocker. Aurora is like not a good area of Denver.
I messaged you, bro, because you have my location, and I noticed like sketchy people around me. There was like a guy with a boombox, and there was like people breakdancing. There was a wild deer.
Not Asians.
No, dude. It was I sent you a video of a wild deer. It was like suburban. Like,
yeah, but that could happen. Deer in Colorado.
That was crazy. Yeah. So I sent you a message. I was like, hey, check my location. Am I like in a bad area?
Yeah.
And you immediately replied like, oh yeah, what are you doing there?
Yeah. Why the hell are you in Aurora? That's so funny. I mean, you should be fine. You look pretty Mexican. Like you should be okay.
Right.
But like, yeah, that is not like that's part of the sprawl that's bad.
People were nice. People were nice to me though. So when I was running to the R, the gate closed on me, or the doors closed on me.
Yeah.
And someone from the inside, there's a button you could just open the doors.
Whoa.
Yeah, a guy pushed the button and the doors open.
Do not put that on the New York subway.
No.
Do not do that.
No, in the New York, you got to fucking have your arm chopped off to have that shit open.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the guy opened the door for me, and I was like, oh, thanks. And the guy was like, it was him. And I was like, thanks, homie. And he was like, yeah. And then it really felt like they kind of wanted me to just like give a bigger thanks. So I said thanks like 4 times. It was very weird.
It felt like they wanted a bigger thanks?
Yeah. Like, I said thanks to one guy, and the guy said it was him. And I don't think the guy, when he pointed at the guy, said thanks, and I don't think the guy heard me. And then the first guy went, like, he pointed at kind of like, with him again.
Thanks again?
Yeah. And then I was like, hey, thanks, man. And then the guy kind of like looked at me, but I don't know if he heard me this time.
This is that guy was doing a good deed out of the goodness of his heart. He didn't need a thank you. But then a mediator steps in because he feels bad that he didn't do it. And then he's like, oh, I'll make the situation right. Tell him thank you.
Yeah.
Tell him thank you. And then he did. He's like, tell him again.
Also, they had like they had a cooler too, which I don't know where they were going. There's like a heart in there.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm on the train. I'm going to the buffet. And there's like,
what's the name of the buffet? What type of buffet?
It was a hibachi grill buffet.
Okay, all right.
And I like these buffets because they're the ones where you like get all the raw meats and you throw it at a guy and he makes them for you for like $1.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I'm like, I'll do that. And then I get to the stop, it drops me off, and I get out of the train, and immediately there's like a mall, there's like a BJ's, and I'm like walking away from it towards the buffet, and I'm thinking like, man, I could really use a beer, dude. A beer would be great. So it was so hot that day. It was like 90 something.
Yeah.
It was like 6 p.m. So I stop halfway to the buffet, and I turn back around and I go to BJ's. I'm like, dude, fuck, they don't sell beers at buffets. I'm just go to BJ's and I'm gonna go all out.
Yeah, BJ's is nice too.
Bro, I go to the BJ's, which I kind of regret doing because I was in a city I've never been before. I should have gone to like a local place.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I don't know Aurora at all. My buddy works in Aurora, but I don't know of anything in Aurora. I only know stuff in Denver. Yeah,
it was just that it was and it was like a mile walk too, and the BJ's like right there.
Yeah.
So I went to the BJ's, got a beer, dude. I got some wings. I told the lady, I was like, is there like wings? Because it's just me. I'm like, do you have like less wings? She goes, well, that one comes, it's 10. And I go, I can't get like 5? She goes, no. She goes, do you want to just do the burger? And I go, nah, I'll get the wings too. Fuck it.
That's hilarious. So she's like, do you have wings? No. Do you want a burger? What? Don't. No, I want wings. This thing. That's crazy.
Well, I got the wings and a burger.
Oh, you got both?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lit.
Bro, I was having a bro.
It's a bang at the same place.
Bro, I had a buffet mentality.
Yeah, you know? That's true.
So I go to there, I get the wings.
You're like, could you put the food over on that table? And then I could just go and get it and bring it back to my table.
So I did tell her bring the wings out first and then bring out the burger. And she was like, okay. And she goes, if there's any left over, you could always just get a box to go. And I'm like, it's not a bad idea. I'll have some to eat at the airport.
Sure, yeah. Everyone will love you. The 6 a.m. flight opening wings.
Yeah, bro. Well, I mean, yeah, but I also had like that fucking night.
Yeah, what'd you do for the night? Well, we'll get there, I assume.
So I ate everything. I ate all 10 wings. I ate the burger. There was like 4 fries left. And
That's awesome.
I was like, this was amazing, bro. And then I left BJ's, immediately had a shit. But I was like,
right after you left, you didn't poop there?
no, bro. I don't know what my rush was. As I was leaving, I was like, why am I leaving so soon? But I think I just didn't like the vibe there. It wasn't a great.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. It's BJ's.
Yeah.
No one's like, we were trying to leave, but it's BJ's. Man, it's just such a good hang.
There was a 2 guys sitting next to me who were talking about disc golf.
That's why I moved there, dude.
Yeah, for disc golf.
I moved there for disc golf.
Yeah, and I wanted to be like, do you guys know Josh?
Nah, that wasn't me.
He's a local legend.
No, definitely not. I played a lot, but I didn't know that many people.
Right, so they were talking about disc golf, and I was like, oh, wow, I guess, it's like a big thing in Denver.
It's huge, dude. I'm going to Denver, as an aside, I'm going to Denver in 2 Saturdays. In 2 Saturdays from now, I'm playing a tournament that is 18 holes disc golf, and then on the same day, 18 holes ball golf.
Ball golf, like regular golf.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, it's just because I said disc golf. So but 18 holes disc golf, 18 holes golf, same day.
In the same day?
4-man scramble.
Okay.
So I'm playing with 3 of my friends.
When do you start drinking in that situation?
Afternoon.
I know, but in games wise,
Not in disc golf.
none of this guy because you take it too seriously.
Well, that, but also I just think it's just another thing to carry around. There's more. It feels like more carrying.
You don't have
because you don't have a cart.
Oh, you don't have a
With golf,
caddy?
you have a cart, so you can just leave your beer in the cart.
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas, like in disc golf, you're walking with your backpack.
Okay.
And so it's just like a ton of people drink while playing disc golf. I never really got into that. I never drank while playing disc golf. I'll drink while playing golf.
Yeah. Golf is
But-
more of a hang, it feels like.
Also, it's a tournament though, so I am curious as to how that's going to look. Like,
Right.
what does that even mean, really? But anyways,
Are you going to take your own discs?
Oh yeah, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Josh has a closet full of discs.
I do. I have probably 30 something discs with
Which
me.
I didn't know about you until like 6 months into knowing you.
No, probably later even. But yeah, I have a backpack, and I've got a backpack. I've got like 30 something discs in
It was
there.
like a year into knowing you.
Yeah,
and then
probably.
I don't know how it came up, and you were like, "Oh yeah, look," and you brought out a fucking bag full of just professional grade discs. And
Yeah.
I remember specifically saying, "Dude, thank you for not making this your whole personality." And you said it was.
Oh, it totally was, dude. Before I started stand up, I was doing disc golf all the time.
Wow, to the point that
All
you
the
got
time.
injured.
I actually got injured playing soccer. But,
Okay.
But yeah, I was playing. That slowed me down a lot too because my elbow was jacked.
Yeah.
And I throw sidearm, and I would just whip my elbow. And now I can't throw as hard, but I could still yam it.
Yeah.
Throwing sidearm, but
How far are the chains, or what do you guys call it? 'Cause it's not holes.
the pin.
The pin. How far is it?
Yeah, you can say holes too. It just depends on what you're throwing. If it's like a shorter par 3, it'll be like 200 something feet. But you could play a par 5 that's like 700, 800 feet.
Okay.
But if we play disc golf on the golf course, they'll probably be really long holes. So they'll probably be somewhere around like 500, 600. If there's a lot of elevation change, that changes things. But like on flat ground, I can forehand like 450 feet.
Oh my god.
So it's like a football field and a half.
Whoa.
So I could throw that sidearm, which is really far, but my backhand I can't throw that far. But yeah, I mean it varies. It
and
just
it
depends on
goes
the course.
straight.
What happens is when you throw that far, you throw it so that it starts coming this way, and then it cuts back, finishing the other way. So like it's not just straight the whole time.
Okay.
Because you want to get it. It's called flexing the disc. So you get a full flex, which will get its full flight out of it.
Wow.
So I was super into it a lot.
Yeah. How much is like one disc?
One disc, it depends on the sort of plastic you get. So they could range from like $10 new to like $30 new.
Okay.
But point being, it's not that expensive of a sport. Like that's
Alright.
just one
Like
disc.
that backpack you had, like how much?
That backpack was maybe $50, which is like pretty cheap.
No. But like with all the discs in there.
Oh, with all the discs in it, new. Jeez, I don't know, maybe $300, $400.
Well, okay, that's not bad.
Maybe not even that much. But yeah.
Wow,
It's,
yeah, 'cause
it's
you
not
had a
that
lot of
bad.
discs.
But like golf, like if you get like a whatever bag of set of golf clubs, it's going to be over $1,000.
Right.
You know, so it's like, and playing golf is so expensive. Disc golf's mostly free. You just walk up to the course and play.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I wonder what those guys were talking about. But anyways, yeah, Colorado and Denver is big for disc golf.
Wow.
So fun. Also, the air is thinner up there, so you can throw further.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, first time
Did you get altitude sickness at all?
No.
Okay,
But first time I was there, I smoked a little bit of weed. Got so scared I almost drove back home.
Oh, I remember you saying
yeah,
that.
bro. Because somebody was like, "You want to smoke weed?" And I was like, "Yeah." It took like first. I don't even smoke weed. It took 2 puffs. I don't know if you were hot because you were higher. You got higher, and
maybe I don't know.
I got crazy dizzy, bro. I got super paranoid. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing in Denver. I drove away from California. I'm going to New York. I'm like, fuck this.
It's the first time you realized you were alone, dude.
Yeah, dude. I almost drove back home.
Yeah.
Well,
glad you didn't.
Dude, same. All right. So, anyways.
Yeah.
So I leave BJ's. Immediately got to take a shit, and I'm like, I can't go back to BJ's, bro. I don't know why. I can't walk.
Feels like against the rules.
If I was with a group of friends, I would have done it because I would have been like, because you were holding up plans with the group, and you're like, I'll sacrifice my embarrassment. I'm alone. I don't want to like come back and like, hey, remember me? I was the guy who was eating alone right there. I ate 10 wings and an avocado cheeseburger. Hey, surprise! I gotta take a shit now.
Surprise, surprise! What'll happen next?
Right. So I left, and then there was like a Target kind of by there. So I walked to the Target, and this is when I kind of started regretting going to Aurora instead of Denver. I go to the Target. The Target's chains all over the country look the same.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking to myself, what is my problem, bro? I'm in this city or this town that I'm never going to be at ever again in my life. And I go to the 2 places that look exactly the same all over the world.
What are you going to go to Costco next?
That's
dude. Insane.
I was going to McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now I'm like really down on myself. I'm like, wow, dude. I'm like, so the whole time I lost hope at 11 in the morning. Up until now, I didn't feel bad because I accepted my fate. And I'm like, I didn't even take advantage of this opportunity. I'm just like going to places that look the same. Mm-hmm. I take a shit. I walk around, dude. I try to buy a phone case and I'm just like, and they're like, it's like $40. I'm like, I just dropped 40 on wings and food.
Yeah, jeez, can't be doing that.
So I walk with my tail between my legs back to the R. And then I just go back to the airport and lay down on the floor.
Dude, I could have gotten you a place to stay.
Bro,
I have like 4 options in the city of Denver.
Yeah,
but you could have stayed at.
Then you know what, dude? Then I gotta meet someone.
You do have to meet someone.
Meeting someone is such a chore.
No, dude, you would have had fun with my buddy Jonah, my old roommate.
Yeah?
Yeah, you would have had a good time. You would crash on his couch. You'd be like, all right, sleep whenever.
Does he have an Xbox?
I actually don't know if he has an Xbox. But no, he's like a lawyer in the city.
Really? Oh, you gotta talk to a lawyer, bro.
Yeah, you gotta talk to a lawyer. He's really fun.
No, I'm like saying like no thank you to any of that.
Yeah, I know you are, but it would have been better than sleeping on the floor.
I don't think it would have, bro.
Dude, that's crazy.
Bro,
how'd you sleep? Dude, did you sleep well?
I didn't sleep.
This is what I'm talking about. A little social anxiety.
Yeah.
To sleep well.
I would rather.
Well-ish.
Yeah. I would rather not.
That's crazy.
Because at the airport, I got my own bathroom. Because now it's like 2 a.m. and there's nobody there. It's just I'm in a room. There's one corner it has like 2 guys. Another corner it has a chick who's sleeping, which I think is crazy. I'm like, you're a girl, don't sleep on the floor. Girl's like,
what?
I don't know, bro. It just seemed weird.
I don't get that.
She was like a young. I'm like, they got couches and shit over there. Go sleep on a couch.
Oh, dude, if you go to the Southwest terminal, that's the best place to crash.
You got couches?
Yeah, dude. Oh, you should have at least done that. If you went to the Southwest terminal, that's where you want to sleep overnight.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Sorry.
Well, it's all right, man. So I was on the floor and then I started getting itchy. I was like, why am I getting fucking? And then I got paranoid. I'm like, there's probably like bugs and shit down here. So then I just stood up and I just sat on a chair and watched a Bin Laden documentary, which is great, dude. So that's crazy. So that was my night.
That sounds like a dream. That sounds like you're dreaming. I was stuck at the Denver airport and I was up all night watching a Bin Laden documentary on my phone.
Dude,
you psycho.
It was like something out of a cold sweat dream. I was laying on the floor, bro. I'm like, and then they have weird art. So I'm like walking around, I'm looking at the weird art.
Yeah, they do. Dude, they have a Shake Shack though.
Oh, I wasn't in that terminal.
Dude, you got it. It's so funny that you're like, yeah, I left the airport, but then you didn't look at any of the other terminals.
I know, bro.
Because the terminal, I think it's Terminal A.
That's
just Southwest. Oh, you were in A?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it is. Maybe you were, because were there a bunch of couches and stuff?
There was some, but they were like in the public area, and I don't know how I feel about like because there was like long hallways and then there was abandoned gates, And that's where I was at. Oh, that's why it seemed weird that the girl was there, because it was like an abandoned gate. The lights were dim. Like nobody was really going there. So I was like, it'll be good to like lay here. I felt like a cowboy. And then this girl came and she laid somewhere around there too. And I was like, this is like a sketchy area for you. But it's fine for me. But it's still an airport.
It just becomes a mirror of the outside world. It's still in an airport. It's still pretty safe. Everyone to get through here had to go through a security checkpoint.
Right.
You know, I don't think anyone's trying to rape anybody in the airport.
No, well, I mean, I didn't get the urge because I forgot to take my Blue Chew.
Yeah, exactly. Sponsored by Blue Chew. Rape in the airport. You ever see a vulnerable woman and think, I can't get it up right now?
Pop a Blue
Chew.
What an ad, bro.
Yeah, that'd be not. Yeah, and we're not sponsored by Blue Chew anymore. And you never were, but that'd be hilarious.
Damn, they pay you for that?
Well, not anymore.
Thank you. So, I don't go to sleep, and then before I know, it's already 4:30 a.m. I'm like, let me just start dragging my feet towards. Dude, now that I think, I could have made like such a fun. I'm trying to think if I could have made a fun day out of it, but it happened when I went inside that Target. Everything went downhill. Before that, I was like, fuck it. I had accepted my fate, but then I was just in a bad, like not a bad mood. I was just down.
Sure.
After that,
I mean, dude, you have like a crazy layover. You have to go to Dallas, then you have to spend the whole day in Dallas, and then you have to go. Like, I mean, I get why you're perturbed. You know,
right?
Makes sense.
So I'm walking around now. It's like 4:30 a.m. and people are starting to come in again, and I'm like standing in the front. I'm like, hey guys, welcome. I cleaned it up for you. Watch out for that girl. She's been asleep. She hasn't woken up.
Don't go near her.
Don't go near her. And then I walk by the Delta terminal, like gates, and bro, I never noticed how nice they were.
Delta's nice,
bro. So I leave the Frontier area. I've walked by Delta. They're like drinking champagne. They're like having wine.
That's right.
There's like good looking people. They're wearing shoes, and I'm like, bro, fuck Frontier. I walk up to the kiosk. I'm like, I don't give a shit, bro. I'll pay up to $300 to just fly straight to New York. Fuck. Right. I'm like, dude, fuck Dallas. I'm not going there. I walk up to the customer service desk, and this is the thing I do a lot. I set a timer on my thing. I'm like, bro, if nobody comes in 30 seconds, I'm leaving.
That's a smart thing to set a limit for yourself.
Yeah. So I stand there. I'm like looking around. It's like all these white people. They're like fucking eating like a turkey. It's like Thanksgiving. They're like. It's like a family reunion. It's just
like a long table.
There's like a chandelier, bro. Yeah. Jesus is there. He's high fiving people.
Right, exactly.
So I said it's like 10 seconds. I'm like looking around. I look back down. It's like 20 seconds. I'm like, oh fuck. It's like 25 seconds. 30 seconds. Nobody comes, and I'm like, fuck, bro. So I leave that I leave that gate area, and I walk. The terminal for Frontier is like in the basement, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like in the second floor with the Delta people, and they're like, get out of here, buddy. It's been 30 seconds, and you can't afford this.
I mean, to be fair, you put that time limit on yourself. You could have hung out for 45.
Dude, it's $300 though. So like,
was it just 300?
No, it was
probably gonna be more.
It was 300 online, and then so I don't know, bro.
But it is direct. Was it going to JFK or LaGuardia?
It was going to JFK, bro. Okay. It left at 7 a.m. and it was like 5.
Oh, dude.
I know, bro.
That saved you so much time.
Dude, I know. Dude, that's why I stood there. But at the same time, it was so much money, bro.
Yeah, dude. $300.
So I had to respect the time limit. And I'm like, bro, fuck. I go back down to the dungeon with the Frontier people.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like fat, fucking open-toed white people. It's just animals, bro. It's just animals.
Gross.
My flight starts boarding. The first thing they say, bro, is, hey guys, only one bathroom is working on the plane, so use it here. That's what they said on the intercom.
Just don't use a bathroom in the plane.
They said one bathroom is working,
hilarious.
So just go here. I'm like, who is this? My cool uncle?
People start deplaning before they get to use the bathroom again. They're like, oh well, they're okay.
Yeah, so that's what they say, and I'm like, it's only 2 hours, bro. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna just power through it. Fuck it, dude. I get in line. I'm like, I get in there, in the plane. I have a window seat this time, and I'm like, that's fine. I'll lay my head against the window.
I'm a big window seat guy. I like the window.
I like window seat. And anything that's not middle. I like window.
Of course.
Yeah, bro, I get there, immediately shut the blinds. I'm like, fucking, nobody's looking outside.
Yeah, you haven't slept in 18 hours.
Dude, I haven't. Yeah. So we get in there, And I'm like, at least I can sleep in here because they have a good fucking air jet. So now it's just a stream of air just hitting the top of my head, and it feels amazing.
Yeah.
And like this is the most comfortable I've been in like 18 hours, bro.
Yeah.
24 hours because, bro, a Frontier seat was the most comfortable thing I have been.
That's bad.
In 24 hours.
That's no good.
And bro,
frankly, if that's the case, you gotta take a little accountability for that. That's got a little bit of that's got to be on you. If you couldn't find something nicer than a Frontier seat in a day and a half, I mean, you're not looking in the right places.
No, dude,
that's a problem.
So I had the air jet, and I'm like, that's amazing. I take the fattest nap I ever had in my life, bro. I wake up.
Oh no.
We're on the tarmac still.
Oh no, dude.
Bro, I checked my watch. We were there for 2 hours.
What?
2 hours.
You were asleep for 2 hours?
And we're on the tarmac.
Dude,
bro.
Why? Why? Are other planes taking off, or is this affecting everybody?
No, bro. I don't know. I'm like looking around. I'm like half asleep. I'm like, fuck, am I dreaming? And I hear them say, hey, guys, we're turning back to the gate. There's a mechanical issue. You know, bro, I wake up, I fall asleep on the gate, wake up on the tarmac to what's going back to the gate.
And we're going to be taxiing to the gate now. Denver. And you're like, what?
Dude, the one good thing about this was that I didn't sleep all night the night before.
Yeah.
So I slept through all of it, bro. I woke up and we were in the air. But so if my connection in Dallas was like
so funny,
was 2 hours or 3 hours, I would have missed it. So
that's why Frontier did that, dude.
Yeah, they were like, we know, bro. They're like, we like you. We're gonna give you a 6 hour layover. So
trust us, you'll be using it,
dude. It was like I couldn't even be mad at this point, bro. I get to Dallas, and I'm just like I don't even know what to do at this point. Airports are my home now. I've been in an airport for 24 hours. I left my house at 6 a.m. the day before. It's 6 a.m. the next day. I could have driven there.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro, I could have had a fun road. I could have drove there. It was insane, bro. I go to the McDonald's and I'm like, let me get the deluxe. And now I'm just there wasn't a McDonald's there. There was a Chick-fil-A. Oh my god,
at Dallas?
Bro, I ate McDonald's and Chick-fil-A at the same airport. I was having breakfast, lunch, and dinner at airports, dude.
Dude, airport filet hits different.
It was pretty good.
It's just good. It's just good. Also, airport McGriddle.
Dude, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Woo!
It was great.
Yeah, dude. It was awesome.
That's when airports felt like home. I was like, I got to accept my fucking fate, bro. I'm just eating this is where I live. You know, like when you get to airports, like kind of exciting. It's like people like, you know, like, oh, I'm going on a trip.
Yeah.
I was probably the only one in the airport, like, just jaded.
Dude, like it's your apartment.
Dude, I was as jaded as the pilots and stewardesses.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm just one with the airport.
Dude, that's no good.
So,
you can't be doing that. But was there a delay in Dallas?
Yes.
Dude, this is like stressing me out. I have so many friends, you included, have the worst travel stories of all time.
Yeah.
This stuff has never happened to me, not once.
This is my first time, bro.
That's crazy.
I was on your side the whole time, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, I've never had a nightmare. This was it.
Yeah.
And
that's a real nightmare, too.
I kept thinking about it.
Nightmare.
I kept thinking about it. I was like, this is boot camp. Like, nothing can ever top this.
That's why you shaved your head.
Yeah, bro. I shaved my head at the airport.
He sat down, and once you missed your connection, you just sat down at the end of it. Frontier just shaves your head.
That's a Britney Spears shit, bro. I was like,
welcome to Frontier.
Dude, it was... Yeah, dude, and it's my fault the whole time. I'm like, I booked this. Whatever.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm flying out of Dallas. We're supposed to leave at 4 p.m. It's a 2-hour delay. So now I'm just standing there, and I'm standing at the gate. First of all, this was insane, bro. So you know how like there's like screens that tell you like what gate you're at?
Yeah.
So it was E10, and I'm waiting in front of E10, and then there's people there who are going to Chicago, and people there who are going to Minneapolis, I think, and me who am going to New York. And people were like, does this gate go to this? And I'm like, no, it goes to New York. It says it right here. It says it on the thing. And they go, no, they told me to send me here. And so like now there's like three different destinations, and we're all talking, trying to figure out where the fuck our gate is. And I'm the voice of reason. I don't know why, because I've been living there.
Trust me, guys. I've been in this system a while now.
Yeah. So I'm like, guys, I saw the screen. It says E10. This is New York. Leave my area. I'm like, this is my house.
You ice them out. You're like, get the hell out of here.
Get out. I have like a broom. I'm slamming it on the floor. Yeah. Like, get out of here. A shotgun. I'm shooting it in the air.
I told you leave.
You're just getting territorial.
My front yard. I peed in this whole area. Okay.
I peed a little bit. And that's my girl over there. She's the girl. Still
sleeping.
I brought her from Denver. Yeah. She's dead.
It's my sleep girl.
That's my sleep girl. So they leave, and I'm just standing there. And now that's where like you kind of like think on your toes. The people who are coming in this gate, they don't look like people who are going to New York. Because there's kids, there's old people, and I'm like New York. When you're flying somewhere, you can kind of like tell where they're going. You know,
100%.
Like San Diego is like white girls and Asian girls and like dudes with a tan.
Yeah.
New York is like fucking Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, just loud people, and fashionistas.
Yeah, it's all people like our age, but all colors.
Yeah.
All colors, our age.
Right.
San Diego, the young people, and then you've got a few older people that are there visiting their grandkids or something.
Yeah.
They're visiting their kids that moved there, but they're from the East Coast. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is not that. There's like kids, and there's open-toed shoes, and then there's
that's Minnesota vibe.
There's and I'm like, oh my God. So I put my shotgun away. I'm like, they got me beat. They got me beat. So I walk to the screen again, and it says E10, and I'm like, no, yeah. I'm like, is my fucking New York radar off? I mean, are these fucking assholes going to New York? And I'm like, I like walking down where I'm like trying to find some sort of reason. My ticket says E10. I go on the website. It says E10, and I'm like, wow, dude, this is nuts. So I walk back to E10, and then it says Des Moines, and I'm like, okay. I asked them, I'm like, hey, when's the Des Moines flight? And they were like, it's at 2:30. And
it's before.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, but mine starts boarding at 3:30. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, it's too close. And I'm like, but it's Frontier, anything can happen.
That's true.
So I'm sitting there for a little bit, and I'm like, nah, I gotta figure this out. Bro, I checked the screen, I checked the website, I checked my ticket, everything E10. I go on the app, I gotta do some digging, E21.
That's not even close to E10.
Bro, not even close. Also, you have to have a smartphone to figure this out.
Yeah, dude. Bro, all the homeless people trying to fly, they're cooked.
Bro, I get there. There's like half of the people are there. I'm like, dude, because everybody's lost.
That's so crazy.
They didn't tell anybody. And also, this is before I found out it was delayed. We're supposed to be lining up at 3:30. On the screen at the gate, it doesn't even say New York. It doesn't say anything. Bro.
That'd be so funny. On the Des Moines flight, like they're like in the air, and then they're like, wait, raise your hand if you're going to Des Moines. Like 40% raise their hand. Raise your hand if you're going to New York. 60% raise their hand. Like, we're going to New York. All right, that's just what's happening. That's just what's happening. You got by popular vote, we're going to New York. Sorry, Des Moines people. We got to mix up. We're going to New York now. My bad.
At this point, that would make sense. You're like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's Frontier. Bro, so I get there, and it's a mixture of Des Moines people. It's a mixture of New York people, and there's like a line to talk to the office, to the customer service.
Yeah,
bro, a guy, I swear to God, almost gets into like a fist fight with the customer service guy.
That's so awkward.
Because that fool goes, I'm not being fucking disrespectful to you. I'm talking to my wife. And then I'm like, so you're yelling at your wife?
Yeah, exactly. Because she's my property, and I can treat her how I want.
Right. But he was like a young black guy with a New York hat. And I'm like, all right, this is going to New York.
All right, then you felt comfortable.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, thank you.
I'm like, all right. So then I'm like walking away, and there's people who are like looking at him. I'm like, all right, these are the Des Moines people. I got to tell them. You can tell the New York people, they're like whatever, fucking just ignoring him.
Yeah.
So the guy, he's like getting into a fight with the customer service guy. I walk back, I sit down, and now an Indian girl tells me, she goes, hey, it's a customer tells me, she's like, it's delayed, we're not leaving till 6. And I go, of course, bro. So now I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I'm taking fuck saving the naps, bro. I just gotta get through this nightmare. I just fall asleep waiting for the thing. I wake up to where like, people are like lined up. I'm like, finally, bro, we're gonna get on the plane and then wait on the tarmac for an hour because I already know how this goes. when they call the zones, bro, they say, it's like usually like Group A, Group B.
Sure.
But before that, they say like the Frontier has. They say Frontier Elite first. I'm like, bro, who is buying a prescription
Frontier Elite?
to a Frontier Elite?
That's so crazy.
I'm like, who is buying this shit? You know who was buying it? The guy who was fighting the customer service guy. He's a Frontier Elite.
That's insane.
Bro, in my head, I'm like, oh, that's probably how you get the Frontier Elite.
Probably. You gotta wrestle for it.
You gotta fight the staff.
It's not a money thing. They don't take money. They're like, nah, we're cheap around here.
Yeah, you gotta bare knuckle box them.
You guys both take 5 shots and then we push it into each other. And that's what happens.
And then we give you your card.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That was a pretty good fight. All right, you're elite.
So they line up, and then they're like zone 1 lineup. So Delta, Alaska, everything else, it's like Group A, B, C, D. I think
Delta's jacked up. It's crazy.
I think
it does so many different zones. It's like
right.
Delta, it's like medallion, then or it's like a diamond status, first class status. Then they have like 12 different zones.
Yeah, and then the military people and all that.
Yeah, military people. Yeah.
So Frontier, it's zone 1. Oh no, sorry, it's Elite, zone 1. And then it's zone 2 and 3, and I'm like, okay, simple. I'm like, why'd you make 2 and 3? Just make 2, because they always call 2 and 3 together. All the flights
that's hilarious.
I was in 4 flights, so I know. I'm like, they never call 2 and then 3. They call 2 and 3, and I'm like, all right. So I learned from this one. Zone 1 is 90% of the flight.
Sure.
So I don't know what ticket I bought, or fucking, I'm like the 20, like the 10%. That goes in at the end. So I get in way at the end of the... Well, which, by the way, I don't get in line, bro. I wait till everybody goes in.
Of course,
and then people that wait in line are fucking chumps.
Yeah, it's crazy. Unless you're in an early zone.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're all basically going in together, why wait in line?
Right.
It's insane.
So I'm standing there. The line, it's going down. It's down to like 5 people. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I get up, and then I get in behind the last person. I get the lady my ticket, and she goes, you're in zone 3. Wait until... She gets on the intercom. Wait until your zone to be called. On the intercom.
You're the reason she did that over there.
And I'm like, bro, at this point...
Everyone sees you. Everyone knows you made her do that. Dude, everyone's like, oh, that guy.
Bro, so...
Zone 3ers.
I grab my ticket. I'm like... I audibly say... I go, of course. Of course. I mean, I don't even give a shit at this point, bro.
Sure, no.
I'm like, of course. I'm such an asshole. I walk around. What's the thing called where that has like the divider? The line divider.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The line divider. There's 2 of them. They're not long. It's maybe like 8 feet tall. I walk around it and then walk back to her, and I'm like, here, and she goes, zone 3, zone 2 and 3. because I've been on 4 fucking flights. I know when the last person from zone 1 is going in.
That's so funny.
She was like, please, just... There was like one person behind me that was in zone 1, so I just did like a little sarcastic circle and gave it back to her, and I got on. And as I'm walking away, I'm never a dick to these customers, because I know to airline people, I'm not a dick, because I know they get it from everyone.
Right.
The first time in my life, I'm walking around, I go, these fucking people. I'm just loud, bro. But I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just saying it out loud.
That's the scariest type of loud. If you're saying it to someone, it's at them. But if you're saying it to the ether, that's at everyone. That's if I'm around you, if I was behind you and you swore at her and you yelled at her, I'd be like, well, this guy's mad at that woman. But if you just around were like, I'd be like, yo, this guy's scary.
Here's the worst part. There was kids around.
Dude.
4 days, 25 hours, fuck your kids. I'm talking
That's what you want. You wish.
I'm talking out loud. I wish they do wish. Dude, they should have been in that fucking game.
You're so stressed.
I know. I'm fucking a kid in 24 hours. Yeah. So I'm just like, fuck these people. Fuck it. I'm like, fuck this airline. Like, just out loud and like on the tarmac. And, nobody's... I think at this point, first of all, they're flying Frontier, so they get it. Second of all, it's a flight to New York, so I assume they get it.
Yeah.
I'm just like... I feel right at home. Like, fuck everyone. Fuck this airline. And then I go... I get on my... It's a 3-hour flight. I get on my seat, and I'm like, dude... Finally, I'm going home. Fucking... on the tarmac for 1 hour.
Dude, I can't, dude. It's unreal.
On the tarmac for another hour, dude. I'm like, I'm not even mad. I downloaded 5 documentaries because I knew.
You have like a Harvard education now. You're like a smart man now.
Yes, that's what it felt like. I felt like I knew what to do, so I just downloaded all the documentaries.
Oh, jeez.
What was that? Holy shit!
That's
my
phone. Jeez.
Wow, dude. So I downloaded 5 doc, and then I'm on the plane. I'm just like watching. I'm educating myself. We land. And of course, it's LaGuardia, the furthest airport from my apartment.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm like, dude, I'm getting a fucking Uber.
Good.
I get an Uber. Normally when I land in New York, I'm like happy to be here. I had the 1,000-yard stare, dude.
Yeah.
I was a Vietnam veteran.
Yeah.
I did not give a fuck I was here, bro. I just nothing, bro. I was just fucking stone faced till I got here, laid down, and then woke up this morning. That was fine. But dude, fuck Frontier.
Dude, that's wait, okay, so I gotta get the numbers. What did you pay for the flight?
170.
170.
Yeah.
What were the other options that you were messing around with?
Dude, I don't even. If I would have known, I'm not even gonna defend myself. 220. 220. I didn't know.
Oh no.
I thought it was
$50, dude. That's hilarious.
Bro.
I literally said I would have floated you $50, and that's exactly what it was. Oh my god,
it was
220.
I didn't know Frontier was bad.
Wow, dude. That's hilarious. Was it 220 direct?
No, 220 layover. 250s were direct. But here's the thing.
250s were direct.
I'm gonna take full.
My friend.
I'm gonna take full responsibility, but I will throw a fucking rock out there. Iram was saying that's expensive. That's too much. Like, because she's the one that flies me out all the time, or that like the books everything. So she knows the prices. I'm like, I don't know how much.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Here's the thing, I don't do connecting flights. I don't do it. If the cheapest one way, if the cheapest nonstop is $500, I go, all right, looks like I'm paying $500.
Yeah.
Is it because if I got to go to this thing, I just don't go.
Oh, dude, no, $500.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's
That's
San Diego.
crazy.
I do that all the time.
Really?
Sure.
No, I always pay
500,
like
600 JFK.
I paid 200 to 250.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you could definitely do that. You know,
that's like tops
struggles I've had with flights and stuff. Very few.
Yeah.
But dude, that is infuriating. Oh my gosh, that is so annoying.
I was supposed to get here at 10 p.m. the day before. I got here at 11 p.m. the next day, bro.
Dude, yeah. See, here's the thing, man. $80.
Yeah.
$80 difference.
Yeah.
I'd pay $80 for sure. I pay $80 to Uber from JFK to my apartment. It's an $80 Uber.
Oh yeah, from JFK. Yeah.
Yeah, to my apartment.
Dude, well, you have a reliable source of income. For a long time, I didn't.
Ish, yeah, that's true. I mean,
I do now, kind of.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. Like, there's obviously, if you got to save money, you got to save money. But like, that's correct. $50 is very.
And I do gotta respect Frontier for this next move. They sent me an email saying, "How was your experience?"
They're so retarded. Like, hey, so we just kind of beat you up and assaulted you for 3 days straight. How'd you like it, or was it good, or
was it fun?
Was it fun? Did
do you recommend that?
You like that?
Do you want to be an elite member?
These kinky people, dude.
Yeah,
they beat you up and they're like, "You like that? You like getting delayed?"
Dude, it was an experience.
That sucks.
Of a lifetime.
That is so crazy.
I mean, I thought it was just Spirit.
Dude, I think Spirit's better than that.
Yeah.
Okay, because Spirit, I mean, logistically, I think is literally better than that.
I did make some friends along the way. I did talk to strangers, which is fun.
Dude, oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, bro. I mean, and the worst part is like I like doing hard things, you know.
But
I like there being a reward at the end. There was no reward for that.
You don't like when easy things become hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're doing a hard thing. Comedy's hard. You know it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, I'm going to go to the grocery store and it's going to be as difficult as possible. Like, no,
right.
I bring a bag so I can carry stuff. I'm not trying to carry, all my eggs, loose without a carton, because it's hard and it's fun. It's insane. That's crazy.
And I messaged they call him the chief where I work at. I messaged his name is Tony. Let's call him Tony. Oh, I messaged Tony.
Yeah, let's get off our high horse.
Yeah, I messaged Chief. No,
yeah, Chief.
I messaged Tony, and I told him what happened. I was like, "Yo, bro, so I will be in New York today." I was like, "I will be in New York today, but like, I'll be tired if I go to work. So if you could find a replacement, that'd be great. But if not, I'll be there. And I like messaged him everything, like a 1 hour podcast. And he just said, Jesus, okay. Like he understood. And I was like, great. And I was like, thanks. So now, so I had today off because of that, bro. Which is, I mean, perfect recovery day. I mean,
yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Good. I had a burger.
So. Yeah, man, that's all you need. That's all you freaking need, just a good recovery burger.
A recovery burger, bro. That's sweet.
Where are we at on time?
That's it, bro. I think it's an hour. That's an hour 4, hour 5.
Gee whiz, dude.
Did you have any long stories you wanted to tell?
That's crazy. I just had a 45-minute travel story, but no, I really had nothing. So
wow, dude.
That's about it. That's crazy.
Want to plug your podcast before we hop off?
Oh yeah, sure. I also have a podcast now. It's called Call Him Father, which is a play on Call Her Daddy. It's a podcast with my friend Grant Moore and I are reading through the Bible chronologically. And so you could go back to the first one and we go through Genesis 1:1. It's really fun.
I thought it was Call Him Father.
Call him? Didn't I say that?
Call her father.
Oh, whoops. Call Him Father. Jeez. Because I was saying Call Her Daddy.
Yeah.
Call Him Father is what it's called. CHF podcast on Instagram. So we have like 20-something episodes. You can go back and listen to Genesis 1:1 all the way up to like through Leviticus, where we're going through Exodus now, and it's getting pretty dry. Gonna be honest. We're going through Leviticus, like a bunch of rules and stuff, and it's hard.
So start at episode 1 then for the people.
Yeah, literally start at 1, and it's pretty fun. We get through a lot of stuff.
So this podcast for like people who like want to get into the Bible, but also want to have a good laugh.
Not even want to get into it. Well, I guess so. Yeah, it's just like Grant was my buddy, non-Christian buddy, brought it up to me and was like, "Hey, you're a Christian," and he's just kind of curious about it. He's like, "Let's just read through the Bible on the podcast and talk about it." And I was like, "Okay, fine." So I think if you grew up in the church, or if you literally know nothing about Christianity, it could be helpful. It could be like an interesting podcast to listen to, just because it goes through the basic stories. And I mean, the stuff that, and this is me being like a dick probably, but the stuff that he doesn't know about, I like didn't know that people didn't know about some of the stuff.
Yeah, well, you grew up in like going to church,
right? But so I think everyone knows about the ark. Noah and the ark.
Oh yeah,
the 2 animals.
He didn't know that.
No, it was something equivalent to that. He just like had not heard of that. And I'm like,
do you know what it was? Because that's pretty big, the ark.
I think he might have known what the ark was, but there was some equivalent to that. And he was just like, oh, maybe it was Joseph in the coat of many colors or something.
Okay, I don't know that.
Like that. Yeah, so something like that is like every Christian is like, well, everyone knows that, but people just don't. And so it's kind of eye opening to me to be like, oh wow, some people really just don't know anything about Christianity.
What is Joseph in the coat of many colors, real quick?
Okay, so Joseph is child number 11 of 12, right?
Okay, so I don't know, Mexican.
It's pretty Mexican. Josue, or no, what's Mexican for Joseph? I think just Joseph, right? I'm trying to think of the Mexican name for Joseph.
Well, there's Josefina, which is the girl, Mexican girl version.
That wouldn't be mentioned in the Bible.
Isn't Jose? Isn't Josue?
Josue? No, Josue, I thought it was Josh. Anyways, he's number 11 of 12, and he's his dad's clear favorite, and his brothers are like way older than him too, and his dad makes him like this incredible coat that has like a bunch of colors on it, which way back when, super difficult to get dyes and pigments into clothing and stuff. Okay. So he just gets this gift, even though he's kid number 11, not kid number 1. Kid number 1 back in the day, like they're the best kid. They're going to inherit everything. They're the most valuable. This is kid number 11. And the reason why he was important is because his dad had multiple wives, and he was the first son of his favorite wife. So that's why.
Oh, okay.
That's why. So that's why he's his favorite. So he gets this coat, and then he's kind of bragging about it, and he's like having these dreams that basically me and his brothers and family are going to bow down to him and like serve him.
Joseph?
And yeah.
Okay.
And his family's like, his brothers are like, hey, we kind of hate you. So then they plan to kill him. They throw him in a pit, take the coat away.
Yeah.
And then instead of killing him, they sell him into slavery into Egypt. And then they tear up the coat and pour blood on it. And they go to their dad and they're like, he's dead.
Oh.
An animal killed him. He's dead now. And his dad's like super upset.
Oh, no.
And so then he goes to Egypt and is a slave in Egypt. But because he's such a diligent worker and like a good guy, he rises the ranks as a servant, gets framed for a crime, gets thrown in jail, rises through the ranks of jail, interprets Pharaoh's dream, becomes second hand in Egypt, becomes like second guy to Pharaoh in Egypt. So like the top of Egypt. And then,
my God.
And then his family, there's a big famine, and his family comes to Egypt for food because Egypt's the only place that prepared for the famine because of Joseph's interpretation of a dream.
Yeah.
And
here we go.
Then there's a big reconciliation, and like he hides his identity from his brothers; they don't recognize him. So and they're like, please, they're like bowing down to him, being like, please, we need food, we need all this stuff. And then Joseph like doesn't tell them that it's him and says, here, take this food. And then they go back. But
forgiveness.
But he holds one of the brothers back, making sure because they need to come back to get him. They come back to get him. He reveals himself to them. He goes, I'm Joseph. You thought you killed me, but actually I'm the second man in Egypt now. It turned out pretty good. And then he goes and gets his dad, Jacob. And then they all come down there and move into Egypt. Right. And then that's where Israel kind of starts growing as a nation. And then they're enslaved. And then they're slaves in Egypt. And that's a whole other story. But that's
so he's nice to his brothers after they did that to him?
Yeah.
That's very rare for the Bible, right?
No, that's actually kind of the whole thing of the Bible. Really? That's like the whole thing is that. I mean, there's a ton of vengeance. But forgiveness and like grace is like the underlying mode of the Bible.
Okay.
So, but yes, I see what you're saying.
Right.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, because you read the Bible and you go, Jesus Christ. I guess
it's true.
That's when you read it.
That's when you read it. Jesus Christ said unto you.
But you read it and you're like, oh, these people, they're like not savages, but they're like people from like back in the day where they didn't get.
They are savages. They are, which is why forgiveness and the way that God told them to live was really rare, but ultimately led to flourishing. A lot of flourishing. And it's like Joseph went down there, interpreted Pharaoh's dream, which basically said a famine's coming. There's going to be 7 really good years and then 7 terrible years. So for the 7 good years, we got to save up all this food so that we're okay.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
The 2000s in the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going
to be awesome. It's going to be bad. So like he basically did that, and he was like, we need to save up all this money. We need to save up all this food so that when it's the 7 bad years, the whole world is going to come to us for food.
Okay.
So like Egypt gained a lot of power and a lot of notoriety in that time because they were stable. So everyone came to Egypt and he sold them food, and that's how it worked.
Whoa.
So it all worked out for the good. And so that's a big part of it. But yeah, he forgave his, because he loved them, you know, and it had been years and the Lord had blessed him and all this stuff. And they had shown extreme remorse. Like he kind of got to know them when he was hiding himself from them. He hung out with them. He ate dinner with them a little bit.
And they were good shits?
Better, I think. Yeah, they were like, oh geez, because they were terrified. They thought they were gonna get.
Did he ever sneak in at night? So 11 of you guys, huh?
No. Well, so what he did ask them, do you have any other brothers at home? Because not all of his brothers came. His youngest brother didn't come because that was the second child of Jacob's favorite wife.
Oh, okay.
So he stayed at home because Jacob was like, if this kid dies, I'm gonna kill myself. I can't. So he wasn't allowed to leave, basically.
Oh man.
And so Joseph was like, oh, my younger brother's not here. Hey, do you guys have any other brothers? And then they said yes, and one more that died. Talking about him,
right?
They were like, and we had another brother that died.
And
he goes, oh, interesting. And then when he brought them in to eat dinner, he lined them up in age order.
Okay.
And then they're like, how did he know how to line us up in age order? Whoa. That's kind of weird. That's crazy. So he did do some little tricky things like that to
He leaves a chair open and then he sits down in it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was me.
Oh, interesting. It was me all along. Well, so the way this is. It is, I think, a theory. I don't know if this is totally true. But then he says, I'm Joseph, eventually, right? And he's crying. He's like, oh, it's Joe. I'm Joseph. It's me. And they're like, no, you're not. And then he says he draws them near to him. And what I've heard, I don't know if this is totally true, but what I've heard is he draws them near to him. What that means is Jews back in the day, then, they weren't called Jews yet, but the Hebrews of that family, they were circumcised from a young age.
Oh, come on.
So he brings his brothers near him, whips his dick out, goes, look, I'm circed.
Whoa.
No one else is doing this. I'm Joseph. I'm circed. And then they're like, yo, that's crazy.
Were they like,
this is Joseph. Yeah, they're probably like, yo, because he was hard.
Yeah. Look, I'm circed.
I'm also so hard right now. Oh,
look, I'm coming.
That's disgusting. Yeah, so he was circumcised. That's the theory. I don't know if that's totally true. But anyways. So yeah, that's one story that Grant had no clue about. Apparently you didn't know.
I don't know, yeah.
But yeah, that's like a hallmark story in Christianity.
Hallmark.
Like a big story.
Okay.
Like everyone knows that story in Christianity.
Wow. All right, well.
Sorry, I blew it way long now.
No, dude, no. I mean, that was perfect. That's a little taste of what your podcast is like.
That's a lot of what it's like. Yeah, we read through the Bible and we talk about a lot of stuff.
So if you want to know more things about that, just tune into Call Him Father.
Call Him Father.
On YouTube, Spotify.
Instagram.
clips.
Yeah, we put out clips.
All right,
very well.
dude. Thanks for
Dude, thanks for having me on. This is fun.
Yeah. All right, that's
Sorry about your travels.
No, dude.
That sucks.
That's episode 145.
145
of the Keep On Fucking Podcast. Yeah.
Are you calling me a racist?